Okay, so in today's video we're going to look at the fridge freezer. Now we operate this fridge as mostly just as a fridge. There is, as you can see here, a removable freezer compartment, but we tend not to use that. We prefer to have a little bit more space in the fridge just for general food items, milk and vegetables and that sort of thing. So what we'll do is, when you arrive to collect the van, we'll talk to you about your preferences, and if you prefer to have the freezer, then we can easily put the freezer compartment back in. So the operation of the fridge freezer can be either on 12 volt, 240 AC or gas. 12 volt is really only for use when the engine is running, so if you're travelling from A to B and the engine is obviously switched on, then the 12 volt can be used. It will drain your batteries very quickly if the engine isn't on, so we certainly don't recommend that. Short term only maybe, but if you're in a campsite for any length of time, then you need to either be on 240 AC, so you'll be plugged in via the cable to the campsite, or if you're freedom camping, then you need to be on gas. So I'll just take you through now the three different methods of operation, and we'll begin with how to use the fridge using the gas. Okay, so with the gas here, you basically just need to remember obviously a couple of things. First of all, we need to have the 12 volt switched on, and we have, as you can see on the panel up there, I've already switched on the 12 volt. Secondly, obviously the gas bottle itself needs to be switched on, and for the purposes of this demonstration I've already turned on the gas. So operation is pretty simple. All we do basically is to press the power on button here, and we hold that for a couple of seconds until it comes on. Okay, and at the moment you can see it's defaulted to the last use, which was 12 volt when we returned from our last trip. So I'm now going to change that and press the gas icon here. You may not be able to hear that in the background, but I can hear the ignition system kicking in, and so we are now using the gas bottle to run the fridge. As you can see here, you've got the temperature gauge. So at the moment it's set to a mid-range temperature. That can just be adjusted by pressing this button here and selecting the level of temperature that you want. So we normally have it on 3. Just depends what your preferences are. So now we're going to look at AC operation. So this will assume that you're already plugged into 240 electricity in a campsite, for example. Again, very simple. We press and hold the power button for a couple of seconds. The lights come on. It will revert to the last known power source, and I'm going to change that now to electric using this button here, and that now is running on the external 240 volt AC supply. So the final method of fridge operation is on 12 volt, but before I show you that, I'll just show you how to actually turn the fridge off. We normally turn the fridge off if we are running the engine and we're going to stop somewhere for a cup of tea or to do some sightseeing, and we haven't got AC supply, and we know we're not going to be too long away from the van. We normally just leave the fridge closed and turn the fridge off, so that once the engine's stopped, the fridge isn't draining down the house batteries. So to turn off the fridge, very simple. You press and hold the power button, and that turns the fridge off completely. Okay, so now we're going to just quickly talk about the 12 volt. Again, this operation is exactly the same as all the others. Press and hold the power button, and select the symbol here that looks like a battery. Now you can see it's warning us here that the engine isn't running. So So I'm just going to turn off now the 12 volt just to get rid of that alarm. Okay, so that's it on the fridge. Nothing much more to add really. You've got quite good storage in here. As you can see, we put cheese and smaller items in here and butter, but you've got a fair selection of shelving for all your different bits and pieces. Just one final thing to show you. The fridge is opened and closed using these two buttons here. You just depress them in and that allows the fridge to open. It's just a mechanism to lock the fridge door shut when you're underway in the van, and it just stops the door from flying open as you go around a corner or something like that. So just to shut it, just push it in and it will lock in place, and that is now firmly in place and it won't open. That's the end of this particular video. We hope it's been useful.